So Howard Stern is calling out Oprah for showing off her wealth on social media. During an interview, or an episode rather, of his radio show, Howard criticized Oprah for posting images of her estate on social, saying that it's mind-blowing that she's not embarrassed about her wealth one bit.
All right, y'all, speaking of success, Howard Stern is not here for Oprah Winfrey flaunting her success. He's criticizing Oprah for showing off her lavish lifestyle and wealth on Instagram. Stern said it's bleeping mind-blowing when you follow her on Instagram.
Howard Stern, the outspoken radio personality, recently made headlines by accusing Oprah Winfrey of exploiting her employees. During his SiriusXM show, Stern criticized Winfrey for flaunting her wealth on social media, showcasing her luxurious lifestyle, and employing a large staff to maintain her estates. He claimed that Winfrey's actions were insensitive to those who are struggling financially and suggested that her employees might be trapped in a demanding work environment.
He mentioned videos of lavish parties with private chefs and people he said service her. Co-host Robin Quivers pushed back and said Oprah was just showing us her life, not showing off. But Howard said Oprah should be more self-aware about what she posts because there are people struggling out there.
Her gardens, the people who service her, he added, I don't think that people should show off their wealth. Stern continued with, you gotta be a little self-aware and know that, there are people struggling out there. What do y'all think about what Stern said? And do you think Oprah is showing off her wealth, or is she just living her life? Funky, what you think about this?
So you know what, I'm gonna pull on one of Oprah's favorite people, and that's Dr. Maya Angelou. Maya Angelou has one of my favorite quotes, and it's very profound. She said, modesty is a fake social affectation. There's nothing really real about being modest.
Stern's criticism centered around the disparity between Winfrey's public image and the reality of her employees' experiences.
She asked women that worked for her to speak about their experiences, and they did not hold back. Now, a large portion of the women who worked for Oprah had their own families, and they spoke about how they had to make certain sacrifices in their personal lives for the success of the show. They talked about the challenges they faced as working moms, and one of them was quoted as saying, I had to be okay with making sacrifices for work. I hope I inspire that passion in my children. Now, Oprah thanked them for working long hours and sacrificing their personal lives, but made it clear that it was necessary and par for the course. I mean, yes, it is important to be dedicated to your work, but not having the balance of being able to be with your family just seems way too extreme.
He argued that while Winfrey enjoys immense wealth and influence, her staff may feel trapped in demanding roles, struggling to meet the high expectations set by their employer. Stern suggested this creates an environment where employees are constantly under stress, with little recognition for their hard work.
I mean, you'd think with Oprah being worth so much money, she'd be able to hire as many people as she needed and not leave people overworked or missing important events in their lives. Now, to be honest, I really hate that rule. Now, this was just reaffirmed by Libby Moore, who spent 11 years working as Oprah's chief of staff. I hit the job jackpot, she told Women's Agenda from her New York base. It was like winning a grand slam. It was extraordinary, and even now, 5.5 years after leaving, it's actually hard to articulate because it was so massive.
The radio host pointed to Winfrey's frequent social media posts showcasing her lavish lifestyle, including her sprawling estates, gourmet meals, and extravagant vacations.
Oprah Winfrey tweeted this out. She tweeted out, this is her chef. Every night during holiday season, we eat delicious foods from different countries, and tonight we had Haitian cuisine with chef this guy. To my Haitians friends everywhere, enjoy your soup, Urbanoire, on January 1st. So that's what she did, and then this guy comes out, and he...
So tonight we have, I'm very honored to make this menu for you all. We have a lot of traditional Haitian dishes, but also some Haitian inspired, some with African inspired, and some kind of Pan-Caribbean inspired dishes as well. The taro fritter is an akrat. It's a very traditional appetizer. It's just grated taro root seasoned with Scotch bonnet.
That's this little thing right here.
Black pepper, thyme, and we have them at the start of the meal. The pickles is on the table. That's a very spicy condiment, and you can kind of
that's that right there?
Yes.
Stern argued that such displays are tone deaf, especially considering the financial struggles many people face. He posited that Winfrey's employees might feel resentment or frustration seeing their employer enjoy such luxury while they toil behind the scenes.
There are a lot of ingredients that we weren't allowed to eat as slaves. So when we gained our independence, we were allowed to eat those ingredients, and those are ingredients that are featured in the soup. There's Caribbean squash.
Okay, so you get it. You get it. And it turns out Howard Stern blasts Oprah for throwing parties during pandemic. You want to hear it? Here it is.
Over the vacation, I tried to decompress. I was watching Oprah. I watch her on Instagram. I follow her.
I was going to say, Oprah upsets you. Why do you watch her?
Well, I follow her on Instagram. So when she comes up, like I look at my wife's cats, I look at my friends who paint, and Oprah.
Oh my.
And I'm really amazed by Oprah. I really am. I mean, on her Instagram, she likes to take you into her house, where every night of Christmas is a big party, like a celebration, and she flies in a different chef. And I'm, it's getting very confusing to me. I see what's going on.
Because he can't refer to Oprah the way he refers to regular people.
Many critics disagree with Stern, arguing that Oprah Winfrey's background is one of humble beginnings and struggle. They believe she isn't showing off, but rather sharing her life with fans.
Oprah was just showing us her life, not showing off. But Howard said Oprah should be more self-aware about what she posts because there are people struggling out there.
I think this is really stupid on Howard Stern, and I really like Howard Stern. But if you didn't know, Oprah grew up sleeping on the porch because she was the darkest of all of her cousins. She was raped and impregnated by an uncle at 13. I mean, this woman has earned every cent that she made. And at some point, I thought it was excellent to see Black excellence and Black wealth be normalized. And she promotes those people, and she gives so much back to the men of Morehouse, to the people in South Africa. So to me, this is about Gwyneth Paltrow. When you talk about shameless wealth and not thinking through, you can put that on GP, but not on Oprah, in my point of view.
You bring up Gwyneth of all.
I'm sorry, that's who you could have. Sorry.
Winfrey's supporters emphasize that her social media posts are a way to connect with her audience and inspire others, rather than flaunt her wealth.
What do you think, though? Do you think he has a point? Do you like it in general when celebrities flaunt their wealth?
What good statement came out of blank is calling out Oprah? It doesn't end well. It doesn't end well. You don't do that. You don't do that. But she's worth $2.5 billion, right? How are you not supposed to show that if you're putting that out on social media? It's impossible not to. I don't know if we need to call out Oprah in this situation. There's people taking pictures next to Bugattis that aren't theirs, that they rented, and all this other stuff, and other, like the Kardashians and other people like that. So I don't know if I'd go after Oprah with this.
I think this is a story that got blown up and out of proportion. If you listen to Howard Stern, he's on for 4 hours. He talks. So I'm sure if anybody watched her Thanksgiving videos on her stories, I did, it's very opulent.
They see her transparency as a testament to her journey from adversity to success, and they appreciate her efforts to remain relatable and genuine despite her immense fame and fortune.
Whether Oprah hides what she has or not, she's doggone Oprah Winfrey. We all know what she has. And talking about lack of self-awareness, it's not like she showed up to Hosea Feed the Hungry and got out of a Bentley Continental dripping down in diamonds and Balenciaga. I think she is very self-aware. I am of the mindset that I should not have to downplay what I have or not show the food I'm eating because somebody is hungry. It sounds cold and it sounds dark, but that's not my damn problem, number one, okay? I think Oprah is more than humble. I think that she is just simply showing us her life.
Oprah often shares the inspiring story of her humble beginnings and the challenges she faced on her journey to becoming one of the most influential figures in the media industry. She was raised by her grandmother during her early years. Oprah faced significant hardships, including financial struggles, misconduct, and discrimination, which were common in the segregated South.
9 years old, I was raped. About 10 years old, I started being molested by my cousin's boyfriend and then my father's brother. When I was 14, I just ran away from home, started running in the streets. I became pregnant and I hid the pregnancy until literally the day the child was born. The baby was premature and later died. When this baby died, my father said to me, "This is your second chance."
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to People Are Talking. I'm Oprah Winfrey.
I never did consider or call myself a feminist, but I don't think you can really be a woman in this world and not be.
If you got kids in college and the commencement speaker is likely to spew out woke rhetoric, encourage them to stand up and walk the hell out. That would be one of the best life lessons that you can give them before they head off into the world themselves. Play the clip.
You are the generation that is forced to depend on body cams to obtain justice. And even then, accountability, as we've seen again and again, can be so hard to come by. You witnessed the storming of the Capitol and the death of civility. You're acutely aware that voting rights are being gutted, women's rights are being dismantled, books are being banned, history is being rewritten.
It is funny to me that a lot of these people pushing these agendas are already filthy rich and largely unaffected by what they want the rest of us to comply with through either being forced to change or agree with. And it is so weird that the Dems seem to never be concerned about the real issues like inflation, high gas, foreign threats, and the crime. Be sure to subscribe.
Why do you think we're in a happiness slump in America?
Ooh, I will tell you, one of the most profound reasons, I think, is because everybody is looking at other people's social media, what they believe to be other people's lives, which is only a snapshot of other people's lives, and feeling envy about that. And one of the things that Arthur and I talk about in this book is that envy is the great destroyer.
The happiness killer.
It is the happiness killer. And so anytime you're looking at anything else with envy, you have already killed your own happiness or your ability to be happier in that moment and probably in moments to come.
Oprah was born in rural Mississippi to Vernita Lee and Vernon Winfrey. Her early years were shaped by profound poverty and instability as her parents struggled to provide consistent care. As a result, Oprah was sent to live with her grandmother, Hattie Mae Lee, in Kosciuszko, Mississippi.
First of all, I want to say my grandmother is the reason I am able to stand here today, sit here today. She did the best she could. She was a maid, was a domestic worker her entire life, and never would not have imagined in this lifetime the life that I now am able to live. But like so many parents of that era, caregivers of that area, particularly in the Black community.
Despite Hattie Mae's care, life was harsh. Oprah has recounted how her family's extreme poverty meant living without basic amenities like running water and electricity. Her clothes were often made from potato sacks, a testament to the resourcefulness required to navigate their dire circumstances.
Well, punishment, whipping your kids, beating your kids was just common. It was, I grew up in a household with my grandmother. It was just my grandmother and my grandfather the first 6 years of my life. And I grew up under the auspices of children are seen and not heard. So me, Oprah Winfrey, not being heard in an environment where if you talk too much or you look the wrong way or you spoke out of turn, my grandmother would just turn and just thump me on the head.
My television career began unexpectedly. As you heard this morning, I was in the Miss Fire Prevention Contest. That was when I was 16 years old in Nashville, Tennessee, and you had the requirement of having to have red hair in order to win, up until the year that I entered.
Her early success in radio led to a job as a news anchor at a local television station while she was still in high school. By the age of 19, she became the youngest news anchor and the first Black female news anchor at Nashville's WLAC-TV. Her emotional and engaging delivery quickly gained attention, and she was soon offered a role in a daytime talk show in Chicago.
So they were doing the question and answer period because I knew I wasn't going to win in the swimsuit competition. So during the question and answer period, the question came, "Why, young lady, what would you like to be when you grow up?" And by the time they got to me, all the good answers were gone. So I had seen Barbara Walters on the Today Show that morning, so I answered, "I would like to be a journalist. I would like to tell other people's stories in a way that makes a difference in their lives and the world.
Her rise to success began with her talent for storytelling and public speaking, which led her to pursue opportunities in broadcasting. Despite facing setbacks, Oprah's perseverance and natural charisma helped her secure a job as a news anchor. She eventually transitioned into hosting a talk show, which became The Oprah Winfrey Show, a globally influential program that ran for 25 years.
I never felt comfortable in my own skin.
And you can watch that landing live right here on Channel 7.
I always felt like I had a pretend voice when I went on the air. I would interview people who'd been through disasters in their life, and I would feel terrible for them, and I would empathize, and then I would get written up by my bosses. And the talk show really freed me.
Just curious, is there someone here that perhaps maybe you're attracted to? Just kind of look around, scout out.
With a reputation as a champion for social justice and equality, she has also faced accusations regarding her treatment of certain black artists and individuals. Oprah has also come under growing scrutiny for her treatment and compensation of black artists involved in her projects, prompting significant questions about equity and representation within the industry.
This movie was important because it created a space and roles for a group of black women.
Yes, and I would just like to say about this whole Taraji, you know, I heard I was trending yesterday because people are saying that I was not supporting Taraji. Taraji will tell you herself that I've been the greatest champion of this film, championing not only the behind-the-scenes production, but also everything that everybody needed. So whenever I heard that there was something that people needed, I'm not in charge of the budget because that's Warner Brothers. You know, that's the way the studio system works. And we as producers, everybody gets their salary. That's negotiated by your team. And so whenever I heard there was an issue or there was a problem with the cars or there was a problem with the food, I would step in and do whatever I could to make it right. You need to surround yourself with people who are going to stimulate, inspire, and lift you up, who are going to give you energy and not take energy away from you. And if you're around people who are taking energy away from you, that's an energy drain. And that is the sign from your instinct, your inner voice, your intuition to say, let them go.
Wow.
Yeah.
Henson specifically mentioned that she and other black actors, including those working on The Color Purple, received lower pay compared to their peers, leading to significant backlash against Oprah, who co-produced the film.
Well, Oprah Winfrey is hitting back at claims that she created a negative experience for the cast during the filming of The Color Purple.
Now, speculations started when one of the film's stars spoke out about being paid inadequately in Hollywood, as well as criticising production for making cast members drive themselves to set in rental cars. But the media mogul has shut all of those rumours down, saying there's no bad blood between the pair.
Critics, including prominent figures like rapper 50 Cent, have accused Oprah of disproportionately targeting black men in her support of the hashtag #MeToo movement. For example, 50 Cent criticized her for focusing on allegations against black figures such as Michael Jackson and Russell Simmons, while seemingly overlooking similar accusations involving white men in Hollywood.
How are y'all getting along, and have y'all spoke after this? I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't have anything against Oprah. You just called her a bitch. I'm gonna tell you why.
You named your dog Oprah, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Look. I remember that. No, look, every time she made a mention to hip-hop culture, it was something that was wrong with it. And it was something that was on my CD that was the largest debut in hip-hop album. You're looking at it and you're saying that everything that's wrong with our culture is why I'm a success.
Wow.
So when I actually got a chance to talk to her, she was like, I never thought about it like that. She's not where she's at by accident.
All right, so any more ambition?
Oprah has recently faced scrutiny due to her alleged associations with controversial figures like P. Diddy and her implication in lawsuits. Actor Mel Gibson has openly criticized her, tying her to allegations of complicity in unethical practices within Hollywood, particularly concerning trafficking and systemic exploitation.
As Oprah reportedly tried to OD, Gayle King, her close confidant, posted an update revealing that Oprah is currently in the hospital, suggesting she is trying to avoid facing the serious charges against her. Meanwhile, Oprah's public relations team is in overdrive, attributing her hospitalization to complications from the weight loss loss drug, Ozempic. Additionally, reports have surfaced that Oprah was allegedly involved in harvesting children in Hawaii for their anti-aging properties. Speculation is growing that Oprah may emerge from the hospital with a disability, potentially silencing her permanently about the accusations of trafficking children from her African school and exploiting kids in Hawaii for high-profile elites. Diddy and Oprah have connections reaching back years, including attending many Diddy parties with Harvey Weinstein. Mel Gibson exposed that Oprah is involved in transporting not-of-age youngins with an estimated 1,000 kids going unaccounted for. Speculation surrounds Oprah's Maui property, which has hidden pathways leading between her buildings, and sources suggest she learned how to build these pathways through Diddy. Denzel Washington has spoken on practices Oprah follows that pays black actors less.
The attention and the seduction from the predator, who is probably gonna be somebody you know.
Right.
In order for it to work, it has to be somebody you know, somebody you admire, somebody you respect, or maybe even love. And it feels good. I mean, if you're 7 years old and somebody, which I was trying to say this to my friends who had children, you're 7 years old and someone is stroking your penis, it feels good. Even though you don't have a name for what that is, it feels good.
One of the gravest allegations against Oprah Winfrey is the accusation that she was involved in providing and preparing children for Diddy's infamous parties. Adding to these startling claims is the controversy surrounding Oprah's Leadership Academy for Girls in South Africa.
Why have all of the girls went missing that was at that school graduating class and nobody is talking about it? I'll tell you why. Because you guys are protected and I don't appreciate it. I want you guys to tap in, tune in, comment. If you guys know about it, talk about it, spread the word, share this. Those girls in Africa went missing. That was at Oprah's school, Oprah Winfrey. Where were these girls at? Has anybody found them? Why is there not enough coverage on this? But those 5 guys that went missing, RIP, definitely feel bad for them. That's a lot of coverage.
Turns out at least 6 girls aged 13 to 15 were allegedly systematically and ritualistically targeted. Oprah went on record saying she was going to look at the situation, but after her investigation, the employee was cleared of any wrongdoing, and some allege Oprah had a hand in trying to cover it up. But these incidents continue to rock the school, including a newborn baby being found unalived at the school, which some say was for trafficking.
Let's talk about what's happening with Harvey Weinstein. I know you posted on Facebook already, but you haven't kind of spoken yet publicly about what's going on.
I think that this is, I'm always trying to look for the rainbow in the cloud, whatever is the silver lining. And this is what I do know for sure. When something this major happens, when you have the fallout, 50 women coming forward, that it's a watershed moment. And what I do believe is actually happening is that, first of all, it's triggering a lot of unreleased pain.
What are your thoughts on it? Drop your comments below.